Hello everyone, welcome to my live stream. My name is Denise Mika Hutchins and I am broadcasting to you from Studio Mikarts. It is March, it's the first stream of a new month, which means we have a new charity to support. Our charity of the month is Animal Alliance Asia, and there are a couple ways you can help me, help them, help the animals. First, just watch my stream and bring your friends because I'll be making a donation at the end of the month based on my unique viewers count. The other way you can help them is visit their website. I put a link in the chat. There's also a link in my About on Twitch. And if you're watching this on YouTube as a recording later, there will be a link in the description there. And in case anyone is wondering, why don't you have a fundraiser going on Twitch? They are not signed up with whatever fundraising service Twitch uses, so unfortunately we can't fundraise through that method for them this time. But I will send them an email. I sent one last year too. I'll send them an email and see if they'll get themselves signed up. Oh, hello Visions Vortex. Thank you for the follow. That's cool. I got to see the new placement of my little announcement stuff. I put it in the middle here. I thought it would be easier to see. Thank you for the follow. So today is special. Tomorrow is the release of the Suikoden 1 and 2 remaster game. My favorite games in the whole world. You can't see it because my camera doesn't point at me, but I'm wearing my Suikoden t-shirt and my Suikoden hoodie, and I am ready for Suikoden. So I'm actually going to do fan art today. Let's get hyped up for the game's release tomorrow, and I've got all my references ready to make some fan art. There's another good reason to make fan art. Suikoden Day is happening this year. It's actually happening this week. It starts tomorrow. Launch is tomorrow. And they're having a fan art competition. So I'm going to enter. I think you have until the 16th, I believe, to get your fan art pieces in. So I'm going to see what I can do. What can I do in this 2-hour stream to create a fan art piece to submit to the Suikoden Day competition. So I've got my nice, I'm not sure what this is, Suikoden 1 and 2, Official World Guidebook. What I wanted it for in particular was these little character reference drawings. So I don't have to go searching around on the internet. I've got them right here printed in this book, and specifically I have this great idea. Because I usually draw lots of Gryphons. That's my thing. I draw so many Gryphons. And there are Gryphons. Ta-da! There are Gryphons in the world of Suikoden. From the first two games. I can't remember if this fellow... Feather. I remember if this fellow is from 1 or 2. I feel like 2. But still, I have the Gryphon reference. And what I wanted to do... because I only have 2 hours, and one of the categories is originality that it's judged on. So, like, what can I do that's original? My favorite guy, and I got this out for reference, and also because let's put this together. This little acrylic, it's not little actually, it's huge. He's taller than my hand. My favorite guy is Gremio. Look at him. Just look at him. Look at him. He's so awesome. He's so awesome. So let's open this. I've never opened this. We've got a bunch of these actually. And I've just had them nicely displayed in, well, me and my husband's Suikoden shrine. But I've never taken them out and put them together. But I'm going to do it now and it'll be a reference. Hooray! So here's this beautiful backing card, which of course I will keep nicely with that sleeve that it was in. And the actual acrylic is coming out. This plastic sleeve. That over there too. So this is great because you can see how small the character images are in here. They're so small. Wow. We've got a huge one. Look at this. He's bigger than the people on the front of the book. I wonder if there are bigger pictures or that's pretty much, yeah, that's pretty much it. Well, there's a few, though, in the back. Wow! I've never never looked at this book properly. I feel like I was trying to translate it because look at the beginning of this little sheet. I was trying to translate this, but it's a lot. I was not as advanced as I am now, and even now I'm only in the like upper intermediate, like moving into advanced, so I don't have as strong a Japanese as I need. Okay, so with these acrylic stands, they always have some plastic protective materials. I'm going to do my best to, with my tiny fingernails, get that off. There we go. Yeah. Oh, ta-da! There's the base. Put that over there. So Gremio has some too. You can see it because you see these little bubbles in there. So let's get that off. I don't know. I think it's on the front and the back, actually. Is it the same on here, too? Can't tell. But with Gremio, you can see the bubbles, so it seems more obvious that there's stuff on the front and back. Oh, here we go. Got that. Ah, I think it's a different kind of plastic. Yeah, one is a sort of milky kind of plastic, the other one is clear. So let's get the other side too. Then my reference Gremio is nearly complete because there's probably some on the other side of the base. Ah, there we go. Got that little. Sometimes it is a huge pain trying to get these little plastic bits off of these acrylic stands. Ooh, it's so beautiful. Alright, so that means back. Yeah, I can see where it's wrinkly. Wasn't until the last minute that I was like, hey, there's reference image stuff in my Suikoden shrine. Let's go get it. Even though I've been planning to do this Suikoden launch party for several weeks now. Didn't think about that detail until today. There. Now the base is completely unmasked. Now I think this is the back and this is the front because he shines through and looks more rich. The colors are more rich this way, so I'm pretty sure it's supposed to go this way. Also, this looks right. Look, the scar is supposed to be on that side. I'll line up the feet. It's hard. I don't want to get my fingerprints on this beautiful material, but holding it by the sides makes it really hard to put any power into. I cannot get it into the base. He might just have to lay on the table because I don't want to spend a huge amount of my stream time trying to build this when I could be working on the actual fan art entry. Alright, Gremio, you just lay on the desk like this. Okay. And then my Suikoden base could go in the corner. Oh, you can barely see it though because the camera is so small over there. Well, it's going in the corner for now. I'll try to put it together some more during break time. I take a 5-minute break at the halfway point in my 2-hour streams. So I've got this ready to reference the Gryphons, or at least the one Gryphon that's in this book. There's lots of Gryphons in Suikoden 3. They're enemies. They're baddies in Suikoden 3. I think there's good ones too. Because isn't one of Hugo's... Well, maybe I won't say anything because we might get a Suikoden 3 remaster, so... I'm trying to keep this spoiler free for anybody new to Suikoden as well. Because it's so wonderful. It's my favorite video game series. I'm looking for something kind of heavy so that I can keep this page open. I gotta have something. Well, this can be a bookmark for a second. I gotta have something heavy I can set on there to keep that open. Oh, here's like a game. Is it? It's not that heavy. It's gotta be small though. Something heavy and compact. I'm looking in my closet real quick. Dang. I need just like a rock. A heavy rock. There's actually an item I do want, and it's specifically to hold books open. It's on my wish list. Maybe I can use another book. Well, I've got this little ceramic jar that I made in my ceramics class. It's pretty heavy. Try use this. Get back to that page. Thank you. Temporary Suikoden bookmark. And if I lay it down. Why? Why is it so hard? Okay, I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna clip it, and that should. Clip that side, and then I'll clip the bottom. Hopefully that'll do it. It's not. Well, I can. Actually, yes. Yay! So I can just see this Gryphon picture right here. That's all I wanted. And I'm really excited because this is going to be my first time using. Hold on, let me straighten my camera is not straight. Straighten my camera out. First time using the new of my favorite sketchbook. This is my favorite sketchbook for multiple reasons, and I got a new one, and it's going to be my first drawing in here. Hooray! Although, sadly, it feels like they have different paper in here. Oh, no! Well, Well, it feels like it'll be alright for ink, but wow, I think I'm gonna have to get a new favorite sketchbook. That's so sad. I loved it had really smooth, bright white paper, but this has some tooth to it, which I don't want. I like it to be smooth paper. Oh well. Gotta work with what I have. Now I've got my sketch kit. So let's draw my... I've been trying to think what to call him. Gremio? Gryphon? Or Gryphio? Gryphio. Let's see. I was thinking of doing a marker coloring, but this paper will be terrible for marker. It's super thin. It doesn't seem to have much. So I might actually do digital coloring, and I could just do something simple. Digital coloring actually takes me forever because it's so easy to keep getting more and more detailed and zoom in to the very last pixel. So I'm going to use my blue colored pencil. I'll actually zoom back down in so that it's not so far away. And I've got my Gremio here. And then I'll ink on top of here, and then we can use Photoshop to remove the pencil. And then that way it saves me time for erasing. So actually it might be faster. We'll see what happens. Just trying to get something done for the fan art contest in now 2 hours and 45-ish, or 1 hour and 45-ish minutes. So first, we've got Gremio, human Gremio. And he's tall, and he's got long blonde hair, and a green cloak and his axe. He's got a scar on his face. But we also have this Gryphon over here. This is feather. I'm going to use feather. Sort of combine them and then dress that resulting character in Gremio's clothes. So if Gremio was a griffin, Gremio. It's my Gremio. But it's more fun if there's some action. So I'm not using any references. Anybody who's watched my streams normally knows I use reference like crazy. I'm not using any reference. Oh, no reference. So we'll see what happens. And I'm just trying to create something with a lot of dynamism, because I think that's more exciting. So let me see. We'll have him sort of rearing up but looking over. So I'm doing myself in this pose. Although, sorry about the blue pencil. You can't see it, but I'm doing myself in the pose. So if I'm reaching up, so I'm reaching my arm up like this. Reaching my arm up. So it comes up toward my head. But he's I want him like looking down and back. So I've got to face the face down and back. And then, okay, I've got to stand up for this. So if he's doing this, then the forward leg, the leg closer to the viewer, is hardly any weight, if any, at all. And more bent knee. The other leg is where all the weight is. So the forward leg is coming up more. And the back leg is down, receiving all the weight. He's balancing on this leg. Kind of looks like he's afraid of a spider or something. I'm just gonna go for it though. I don't have time for my usual thumbnail sketches and stuff. You know, we just gotta make this. This is my one chance to make this fan art for the fan art competition. I don't have any more time to work on it after this. So let's see. Feathers. Tail is a lion tail. Feather is a typical griffin with a sort of bald eagle on the front and a lion on the back. Oh, I'm not sure where the tail would go. So if we're following the curve of the spine. So I think it would be curving and then it would curve up and then down. That's great. Dynamic. Now, to add the appendages that I don't have a tail either, but I don't have any wings, so I'm going to use my arms as if they're wings. So I'm going to stand up. If I had my wings, I'm doing my legs how these legs are. But if I was doing my arms as if wings, they're sort of open evenly to either side and maybe curving forward around. Yeah, I usually use so much reference to try to get the wings to be really naturalistic, but this is just going to be totally for fun. So just using my experience, I've drawn quite a few griffins, so we can at least use some experience. Not bad. Got the dynamism that I wanted. It's great. His hair is just as loose and flowing as feathers. Feather the Gryphon. I wish I would say... Is this from Suikoden II? Hold on. All the rest of these guys are. I think? No? Don't slide down thing. So we got the unicorn. I can't remember. Oh well. Look on this page is definitely... Or, no, maybe it is from Suikoden II. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm just so curious. It doesn't matter though. So I've got him looking down, but maybe he wouldn't look so like he's scared of something. Okay, I'm doing the pose. Seeing if I can move the head. If I do this pose, could try to just have the head arching, I think, arching upways. So I'm gonna get my favorite Faber-Castell kneaded eraser. Do a little erasing. Gotta say though, I'm still so disappointed that this paper is not the paper that... I have been getting this sketchbook for decades. And I have the evidence in my closet behind me where I keep all of my used sketchbooks. And they changed the paper after all this time. It was so disappointing. I had to find a new sketchbook. Find a new fave sketchbook. Because this paper is way too porous. There's no way it will be good for markers. It's just going to bleed right through probably multiple pages. Okay, so what if I have his head up instead of down? Down makes it look like he's jumping away from something he's frightened of, but if we have something like that. Let's see, how is... Doesn't have to be exactly the same, but I'm looking at a feather's beak to try to make a... similar one. That's pretty good. That's better than looking down. I don't know what he's doing, but it looks better than it did. I mostly just want to draw Gremio as a griffin, so I don't need too much of a story behind it. Someone else can make the story when they look at it. So now, let's refine some of his anatomy. Get his cool, powerful bird front claws, front feet. Maybe instead of having it down, I'll have him grabbing like this. Let's see, there's 3 on the front and 1 on the back. Well, that one in the middle is a little out of control. Let's make it match the other ones. It's like, ah! More like this. So the front one should be... So if I want to do something like this, the front one should actually be up the highest. means this back one needs to not be up like this. This is gonna be like, oh, but this is on the outside, so it should be coming inside. Wah! Okay. I had to change it. This is the outside one, so I need to be drawing it from this point of view. Of course, it's not exactly the same as a human hand because their thumb goes straight back, but just lightening up some of them. Pencil, because it's getting really muddy. Something great about feathers, there's lots of feathers, so it's covering a lot of anatomy that otherwise it might need to look really precise. So like right here, it's just lots of floppy feathers. And then here we've got the other hand rising up, so maybe we will do it like this so that it'll be a different angle. Say the hands right here, and then the arm. So we've got the one claw on the back. So it curves around. I don't like it as much. Maybe if it's a little bit more to the side. Not straight on, a little bit turned to the side. Oh, a big dog Eva's growling. She might be having a dream. I've got the hand closing. Oh my goodness. She's having quite a dream. You had to have heard that. She's been getting lots of mental stimulation recently because there are squirrel treats in our dry fountain. And that's new. So she's been having some interesting shows to watch. And sometimes she can't take it and starts leaping at them. She's in the house and she's leaping at the door. Maybe I'm trying too hard. I think I'm trying too hard with this hand. It's just not turning out right. I'll just try to do it the same as the other one. Spending so much time on it. Maybe I should turn turn it like this. Maybe that'll help. It'll give me an anchor. Ah, that's a bit better. Probably good enough to be getting on with. I need a smaller eraser now though, because it's getting really muddy, but it's such a tiny space, it's not easy to clean up. Not easy to clean up with the kneaded eraser. Ah, good enough. Good enough. We ended up with one claw having the middle finger up higher for whatever reason. It looks pretty cool actually, so I'm just gonna leave it. So we've got his front half done except for like some facial features, but let's do more of the body first, because if I have to change the head in the end, I don't want to have to redraw his face. So let's see, we've got his very fluffy front half. And then it becomes the lion half, which is also pretty fluffy. Looking at Feather's illustration here. And they've given Feathers, it looks like 3 claws on the back feet. Would his feet flex too? I think it might, lifting up like this. Let's do a little bit of variation in the toes. Sorry you can't see it any better. I'll zoom it in, that should be a bit better. It's hard to see because of the blue. The whole point of the blue is because it can't be as easily captured by imaging equipment. That's actually the whole point, so that's why it doesn't show up well on stream. My Aoife heaving a big sigh. And the tail, it's actually not that furry compared to the main part of the body. It's quite smooth till the tuft. That little shock of fur at the end. Which is great because we can add to the dynamic energy swirling through him. The wings. They have this same fluffy, almost sloppy style, which is great because it makes it really easy to draw, really easy to imitate. Not as much pressure as I usually put on myself for naturalism. This makes it way easier for me to just draw a Gremio Gryphon, not worrying about the things I usually do when I'm drawing any Gryphon. One wing done. The back part of the wing we can see it's not covered up by his front hand. Well, front hand. Hands are on the front. Is his hand. That's what a hand is. It's the front part. Now, I did not add some of the details that I'm seeing to the legs, so let's do that real quick before I forget. Just these nice little armory scales that birds have. And same on this side too. That's good enough. Now we can work on his face. Yay! So we're going to start making this more Gremio and less feather. So I'm going to be looking at my little reference acrylic. Can't tell what eye color. I think it's green though. It looks like the same color as his. If my main camera would focus, maybe I could show you, but it doesn't want to focus. It looks like the same color as his cloak. Doesn't matter right now though. So I'm trying to get, so his head is curving over to his left shoulder, so that's this way. Which means we won't see the scar on his face, so I might need to reverse this. Reverse this in Photoshop. Let me think for a minute. Because one of his defining characteristics is this scar, and we always see him from this way. In the classic game, I don't know, maybe they'll have it flip around in the remaster. We'll find out tomorrow! But for now, it might be good if I draw this with the idea that I'm going to flip it in Photoshop when I load it in there. Because the way his head is turning, we won't see that. That makes it so great that I have this acrylic, because all I have to do is flip it over and it's on the back side. Okay, we'll do that. I gotta write down here though. I wrote, reverse image so Scar is on correct side. I wrote that note for myself, so I won't forget. Now, let's get his eye in there. So it's got to be a Gryphon eye, though. And then feathers on the face. And there, which is the beak version of a nostril. And then his hair will do some sort of, I don't know how to do this because I don't want him to look like he's just like wearing a wig, you know? Well, we're just gonna have to try something. Maybe we'll make it like there's a crest of feathers coming out and they're falling in certain ways. Should be curving. Let me see if I'm flipping my head around, it should curve in the opposite direction. Hold on. I gotta clean this up. I'm confusing myself. Confusing myself. Oh, that's what it is. It needs to come up high from the back, not from the front. So I think the way to make it look like he's not just like wearing a wig is to have this hair, because his hair is very long. It's very long ponytail. His hair is as long as my hair. So if I have this growing out all along, I think that would be more like this is a part of his anatomy as a Gryphon and not just some human hair plopped on his head to make him recognizable. At least I hope that's what I'll be able to achieve. That's what I'm going to try to draw. Oh, there's still more little eraser bits. So that means we're going to add some hair coming up. Maybe I will even change how his tail is colored. We'll add some more extra long bits on the tail too. I'll use this one. It's getting real muddy again. It's been a really long time since I've done a fan art like this, where there's no research or anything, and I'm just drawing something to get something new and different created, featuring my favorite character. So it's actually quite fun. It's a completely different kind of energy than I normally have. Most of my work is really calculated, carefully planned. But this time I just don't have time, so that's why it's going to be much more spontaneous. Alright, and the whole reason I'm going to reverse him is to get his scar in. It's not going to be exactly the same shape because I want it to match his Gryphon shape. If you're hearing like a little whistle sound, I think one of my puppies is having a whistle nose right now. Okay. I quite like this. Next, I wanted to add some, so I don't think I can get his axe in here because he's got his Gryphon claws. He doesn't need the axe. But I thought of, like, maybe we can put these leg wraps on, or at least the cloak, because then if we have this yellow, then having the green cloak will match. But it might be good the way it is, because we could make its wings green with brown underneath. I'll flip this back over. So green with brown, brownish, yellowish, some sort of ochre or something. And then that way his natural colors as a Gryphon can just reflect what we've already got here. So we could have his rest of his body be blue even. We could do light blue and dark blue and go from light to dark. So yeah, let's do that. I like that idea. Just figured that out just now. As I explained it to you was me figuring it out. Woohoo! So I think I'm done with this sketch. Let's just ink it and then we can get it in the computer and see if we can get some color in. Just see how far we can get today, because what I'm able to finish today is what I'm submitting to the contest. I mean, maybe I'll work on it on the weekend, but probably not, because on the weekend I'm always so tired and I'll probably just want to play Suikoden anyway. Because the game will be out. The game isn't out yet, though apparently some people have gotten their copies already. because Best Buy sent them out early, which I don't begrudge anyone or anything, but just saying I don't have it. I don't have the copy yet. And I wasn't planning on it. I'm going to be playing it for the first time tomorrow on stream. Yay! Okay, for now, I think I'm done with erasers. I might be completely done with them. So I'm going to put them away. Put my pencil away. One thing I do want to do real quick before I forget is write the date on here, because I love writing the date on my sketches and things. That way when I come look at this sketchbook 10 years later, it'll be really nice to place it. Okay, so today is 2025 and it's 3/5 and today is Wednesday. For now, I'll call it Gryphon Gremio. Gremio. Suikoden launch party. There. Also want that in there so that I remember when I started this sketchbook. Okay, done with the sketch kit for now. Set that there. What I want for this is my... I was thinking of using these, but it might be faster if I... use some sort of brush pen. Because the more time I save, the more other stuff I can do with it. And I do have some brush pens in here. Let me see. Could be good practice because my main illustration project I'm working on right now is going to be done with brush pens. And that's almost the stage I'm on. I'm in the sketching stage. No, this is a fine liner. Well, I might need a fine liner later, but there we go. So there's some brush pens. Ah, I did need you, sketch kit. Let me test these. The blue one is that big. The white one is, oh, real big. You're not seeing this. Let me raise that up there. You can see my test. Oh, I already did the one. This Copic one is medium big, and this one I know is small. Smallest. So this was the Graphite, and this one. Okay. So what I think I'll start with. So I'm going to start with the big one actually and do an outline. Kind of like what I do with my chibis for Chibi Friday. I do a nice outline around the entire image. Since there's not going to be any background on this, that's one of the big reasons I like to do that. Then it still feels like it belongs, even though it's sort of floating around in space and nothingness. Ink works really well with these really fluid feathers too. Alright, let's use a little bit more sturdy brush for the talons. back to the bigger brush, the biggest one that I have in this set. I haven't done it so far, but I'm gonna have to start moving my drawing around in order to get these lines done properly. Alright, let's move to a smaller brush again, because the outline is pretty much done except the tail, but I feel like making the tail smaller will actually be better so that it can sit back in the background a little bit. So go back to this slightly smaller brush. Okay, let's move down. Oh, Sarah, hello! Yay, so great to see you. Oh, you just got back from the vet. Yeah, it's pretty much break time. How are you? So glad you could make it. For my special Suikoden launch party fan art day stream. Woo! I'm combining the Gryphon character Feather with my favorite character Gremio to make a Gryphon version of my favorite character from Suikoden. Oh, poor Ranger. I hope that she feels better. For anyone confused, Ranger is Sarah's cat. Well, I also have a Ranger, which is my dog mascot for Studio Mikarts. They are completely unrelated. Complete coincidence that they have the same name. Well, I hope Ranger feels better. Is she going to be getting some medicine? Well, it is exactly break time. So I will leave this here. Bring my camera in for a little more close-up view. At least while I'm away. It's coming along nicely. I really wanted a dynamic look, and I think I've got that. My ranger is older, but we don't throw name shade. That's good. We're all friends. All the rangers are friends. They're all friends. Okay. I hate to leave you so soon after you popped in to join me, but I am going to take my 5-minute break. I encourage everyone else who is watching to take a break as well. Give your eyes a rest, get some water, a snack, walk around if you can. Do some stretches. I'm definitely going to be doing that. I'm going to put my be right back sign on, and I'll be back in about 5 minutes. Hello everyone, I'm back. I hope you had a great break. I am all stretched out and refreshed and ready to continue working on this piece. Just want to get the inking done, then we'll get it into the computer to put some color in it so that it really looks like Gremio. Oh, Sarah's got drenched. Well, hopefully you're drying it off now and enjoying some warm drink to warm you back up from the inside. That's what I find always helps, is get some hot tea or hot cocoa or coffee or something. Hope you are dry and warm somewhere cozy now. It's not pouring rain here. I wish it was. That's my favorite weather. But it is cloudy, so I'm not complaining, because where I live, it is sunny most of the time, and lots of people love that, and I decided recently that I'm not going to be negative about it. I'm just going to try to enjoy the weather, whatever it is. But that doesn't mean I don't still have my favorites, which is rain and snow and storms and all the inclement weather give to me. Oh, your jacket and purse took the majority of the water. Well, hopefully they're all dry and safe. Not made out of materials that disintegrate in water or something. I don't remember. Sarah, did you ever... I have known you since I've discovered Suikoden when I was in junior high, but I don't know if you ever played it. I don't remember. I don't remember if you were into RPGs as much. Ah, they won't disintegrate, so they're in the mudroom dripping or something. That's what I imagine. For his face, I'm going to go to the smallest brush. Ah. The Sims. I loved The Sims 3. I played The Sims 3 like crazy on my PC. My friend, he's sometimes here in the chat. His Twitch name is Sketchidio. He got me into The Sims 3. Sister bought it used from a friend. The Sims? The game was so fun. Because you could set it up to be anything. You could play it the way it's originally designed, where you have families and they go through generations, or you could make your favorite characters, or you could just build dream houses or whatever. Amazing. So much fan-made content available. Oh, the N64. Gotcha. Oh, I gotta remember to put this little cap on. This little teeny tiny cap helps keep the tip from drying out. Ocarina of Time. Love that game too. I never finished it though. Even though I've started it in so many iterations, I've never finished Ocarina of Time. I've seen someone else finish it, but I've never done the work myself. Started it so many times. I love it. Well, I don't love the Shadow Temple or the Spirit Temple. I don't love those scary ones, but and in the freaking Forest Temple, those hands, I always talk about this, those hands that drop down from the sky. No. Just no. But I can make it through. I can make it through. make it through, but I always end up quitting around the Shadow Temple because I just can't handle it. I hate this scary stuff. I hate scary stuff. Ah, 1 and 2, but never 3. Interesting. I think about that sometimes. I still have all my files, and like I wonder what it would look like on my desktop computer now, because it's way better equipment than the last time I played my Sims 3 files. But it's so much work to reinstall it. I never do. I never look at them. They're just sitting there waiting for me to someday come back and remember them. Just a few more lines left. It's actually really nice being able to do something with really fluid lines and not really worrying about the placement and the thickness or anything. It's just like, whatever, this line is this and this line is this. Boom, boom, we gotta hurry. I enjoy my usual calculated, solid, extremely naturalistic artwork, but this is fun too. Let's do a little bit of hatching back there. Ooh, my favorite hatching, yes. Oh, got in The Sims 4, the glitches got worse and worse. Oh, that's terrible. That sucks. Swoosh! Have fun with the lines. I totally am with this one. I'm just trying to make sure I don't forget any. Like, I just noticed this here. I didn't finish the bottom part of his front foot. So I'm just looking for stuff like that at this point, and then we load it into the computer and get his signature colors added to it. And then it will be good enough to submit to the fan art competition. There's some areas like right here where it's not connecting solidly, but I think it's fine. I'll use the color to finish that part off. Maybe right here we could add a little extra line. We'll add another one here too. Whee! Oh, and right here there's this big gap. Let's put something in there. That's better. Oh, and maybe I can have a little indication of the hair as it's flowing all the way down. That's what I meant it to do, is flow all the way down. There. Let's do a little bit more hatching on this leg, the back leg. I mean, they're both back legs, but the one farther from the viewer is what I mean. So that we can have a little differentiation between the two legs. You heard a big sigh, that was Aoife. Big dog Aoife sighing away as usual. I think I'll also use my smallest pen. Trying to get this pen to flow. Maybe I have to get a new cartridge. It's really dry. Oh, is it coming back to life? You want to come back to life? Maybe it just doesn't like this paper. I wanted to add a little hatching in certain areas. Alright, that's good enough. Yay! So now let's scan this in. should I sign it? Because it's... I don't sign my big illustrations, but I feel like I should sign this because it's just a character drawing. This pen isn't working that well. We'll try it. If it doesn't work, then I'll sign it again. Is that the sound of ink or something? There's plenty of ink. I don't know why it's not flowing. Well, I'll use the slightly bigger one. Interesting. Use the slightly bigger one to sign. 25. Okay, I'm going to leave this here for a second while I get my digital stuff set up. Scanner on, open. I actually don't need to open it yet. But I'll bring my peripherals over, like my keyboard and my mouse. So I'm basically moving everything over to my left where my desktop PC workstation is. So next I'm moving my mic, so I'm going to mute that for a second. Okay, that's been moved. And now, I guess I'll move my Gremio here and I'll have this little camera look at him. Because I'm going to be covering up my main camera in a second with my digital workspace. Okay, I'm adjusting my monitor now. Scan. Alright, excellent. Let me turn on the desktop. And first I'm going to swipe my page off with my, what I call my swipey brush. Just in case there's any pet hairs or dust or little bits from the pencil or anything. And then I also swiped the scanner glass for the same reason. And now I can plop my sketchbook in there. Close the lid. We're going to do a preview. Sweet. Looks good. So we will just crop this. Oh, and I'm going to include my note to myself here. So I have to remember to flip this around. So I drew it so that the scar would be on the correct side once I flipped it. That might take a while to scan, so let's turn on Photoshop while we're waiting. You can probably hear the fans on my PC tower ramping up. It always happens when I turn on Photoshop. Alright. Photoshop is up. The scan. It says only a quarter done, but when I look at the light on the physical scanner, it's more than halfway done. So I don't know what the deal is. It does that. Says about 1 minute remaining. Yay! As So first I'm going to turn my scanner off, because it has that whine noise that continues for like 5 minutes. But if I turn it off, it stops right away. I'm going to open with Photoshop. So we don't need to do anything with this. We don't need camera raw. So first things first, we're going to save it. Save as. Gremio. Wait, what did I call it in here? I called it Gryphon Gremio. I can't remember. Gremio Gryphon or Gryphon Gremio. I'll name it the same as I wrote in my sketchbook. Gryphon Gremio.pst. It's got the ICC profile, so that's good. So reverse image, so Scar is on correct side. So let's make a copy, and then we'll do all these edits to the copy. That way, worst case scenario, we've got the original still there. So, I can never remember. Is it flip? I think flip horizontal is what I want. Yes! Sweet. Next, we're going to remove all of the blue, or as much as we can. There's multiple ways to do it. I think I'm just going to try desaturate and then mess with ripples. Yeah, the words almost completely disappeared. Perfect. Nice. I think that's good. So next I'm going to do my favorite thing, which is get the lines onto their own layer. And I shall share that. I always do because it's such a good tutorial. If I can find it. Where's it? Can I change color? Oh, extracting scanned line art. So first I'll just share this in the Twitch chat. The link to the tutorial. My favorite tutorial that I use every time, and then I will just show you real quick. This is what it looks like. Oh, not this fundraising thing though. So it's got Clip Studio Paint, Photoshop, and Paint Tool Sci. So I can't look at chat for a minute while I'm doing this. I don't know what my deal is. I've tried to do it from memory and I always miss one step here or one step there, so I'm just going to do it. So let's see, extracting, use alpha channel, turn a little bit up. Select all and cut. Then go to channels and create a new channel. And then you paste. Okay, next. Go to selection, load selection. Well, it's select and then load selection. There it is. And you have to choose invert. Now, create a new layer and edit fill. And those should be good. Yay! Deselect. Okay. I'm back looking at chat. Okay. So anybody wants to talk to me. Oh, I'm going to have to reverse my signature back the other way. So we'll call this lines. We can delete background copy because that's empty now. Let us select the signature and flip that back around. Deselect. Now, a little cleanup. We're going to add a layer, style, stroke, and make it some really vibrant, crazy color so that we can see very obviously these little dots like this that otherwise might have escaped notice. And this is not really, this was just a mistake. So I'm going to just erase that one. It's nice, there's not actually too many. Just a few. Get that one. It's not necessarily a random speck, but it felt better to get rid of that one, so I did. Let's save this and see if we can get it more centered in the canvas. This one, and then this. There, deselect. Those little specks can be a reason why sometimes if you try to center lines, they won't center and it'll be like, why? Why isn't it centering? It's because there's a little teeny tiny speck over here that's making it think, well, there's data over here, so it needs to be all the way over here for it to be centered. Okay, now there's only about half an hour left, so it's really hard not to go in and what I usually do next is clean up lines like this and this. Maybe I'll just do it in really important areas, like which is basically the face here. So we'll have a little best of both worlds, not taking too long, but also having a little bit of cleanup. Because we don't want, I'm on the wrong layer. We don't want that line going in front of the beak, because the beak is in front of the hair, so it doesn't make sense for the hairline, the hair outline to be covering something that's supposed to be spatially in front of it. Same thing right here. This hair should be in front of the wing. Oops, why is this is like huge for some reason? Oh, because it's not pressure size. I was like, why is it erasing so big? Okay. Any other really super obvious places, or is that good? I feel like that's probably it. Maybe this little bit on the tail. Something about it is sort of flopping around. Let's make a little space maybe. I feel like I added something here, but it really doesn't look bad, so I'll just leave that. Let's save again. Making great time. I actually need my Gremio. Okay, I'm going to put my little camera on. Have a look at Chucky. Well, maybe you can see Chucky. Let's see if we can. These scarves might be in the way. I think that's a good picture. So I need my Gremio acrylic stand to see his colors. Hey, it wants to go in the slot now. It didn't want to go in. That's why I had him just laying down. Hooray! Okay, standing up properly now. I'm going to put him on this side because if he's in shadow, it's hard to see. So now he's on my right side where the sun is hitting him. Well, not the sun. The beautiful diffuse light of this bright white cloudy sky we've got going on here. It's my most favorite. It's so beautiful. Anyway, just like getting mesmerized by the sky. This is actually going to be really fun because I'm just going to be coloring in. It's going to be like coloring a coloring book. I put my swipey brush away and move my keyboard and mouse over to my right so that I can pull my Cintiq tablet down into my lap and get my color on. So first, let's do, call it blue. And this is going to be for all of his main body and his limbs. My chair is still squeaky, so sorry if that's annoying, but I have given up trying to fix it. So it's a squeaky chair. Oh, I'm still on eraser. No wonder it's not coloring in. I'm just eyeballing the colors. I could go and get a digital version of this image from the internet. I'm trying to save time, so I'm not going to do that. Just eyeballing the color. It's actually great. His shirt is a different color blue than his pants, which is perfect for the Gryphon because the Gryphon is so often a different color on top than on bottom. I do not imagine that I will be able to get any shading done on this, so I am coloring with the idea that it will be flat color. And if I have time, I want to put some texture on it. And if I don't have time, maybe I could at least change the lines so that they're not plain black. But we'll see how far I get. This is the main fan art window I've got for the fan art competition for Suikoden Day. What I get done today is probably what I'm going to submit to the contest. Some of this is going to be blonde. Well, I'm not sure where I'll put the blonde, so I'll color in blue for now and then I'll cover it up with blonde later. I think this should be clear. Go. Turn the brush way up in size here, and then we'll erase away. So maybe about here is where we'll end the blue, the dark blue. Whoops. No, actually meant to get the eraser. We'll end the dark blue here and start doing some light blue for his front half. Yeah, something like something like that is good. So we'll add a new layer. Call it light blue. I'm just going to color roughly and erase away. And I'll do something to make a transition here, but for now, we'll just color it in. And his face will be blue. Okay. Oops, just bring it to the eraser. Make it a bit bigger. I don't need to erase everywhere either, because some areas it'll just get covered up when I make the new layer for the arms. Let's see, that's hair and that's hair. Right here should be erased. So I'll figure out this transition later. Let's just move on. Adding more color. So the next color will be, I guess let's make his beak, hair, and arms the same color. It'll just be easier. Make them all blonde. Blonde. Naming this layer. Oh, I'm on eraser still. Last it. Yeah, it doesn't look bad. It doesn't look bad at all. I think this is all meant to be hair here. Lurk mode. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, feel free to lurk. I don't want there ever to be any pressure on anyone to feel like they have to talk to me or anything. I am good just being here to make art and be some fun background noise. I'm just happy to have you here with me. I hope everything's going good with the baby shower too. I hope it's going to be lots of fun. Can't remember if I said it out loud, but I think these colors look really nice together. It makes sense, but actually putting them down as flat colors, sometimes when I put down the flat color on something, it's like, but then I put the shading on and I'm like, yeah, that's good. But this one, even as flat color, it looks really nice. Actually, let's make this a little bit longer. Hard to decide what should be mane and what should be body feathers, but I think this should be body feathers here. Oh, there's a little area here that's not fully colored in. If I have time, I'd like to go through and do that same stroke technique trick to check for any other missed pixels like that. But I might not have time, so that is a if possible thing, but not necessary thing. So I'm liking this so much already that I feel like maybe I will spend a little bit of time on the weekend doing little final touches. If I'm not too into just playing Suikoden, which I might be. I might just be too into playing Suikoden to work on this anymore. But the time is flying by. There's only 15 minutes left in my stream. Tomorrow is Suikoden 1 day, so won't be working on fan art. And Friday is Suikoden 2. It's hard to decide sometimes whether to keep the color inside these little brush strokey lines or to erase it. It's a case-by-case basis thing. So because it's not connected here, I decided to have it empty here too. Most of this will be covered by the wings layer, but I can see some areas where it won't be. I'm trying to get those now. All right, moving down. This wild tail. Gremio. Gremio. you're hearing that snoozing sound, it's Aoife still. Last week I took a rest week, which meant no live streaming among other things, so that I could spend some time catching up on tasks that keep falling to the wayside because there's just not enough time to do everything every week. And Aoife was so confused on the first day because we didn't do live streaming, and she was just kept coming in and leaving and looking at me like, what are we doing? So I think she enjoyed live streaming as much as me, and that's why she just gets straight into snooze mode when it's time to start. I guess for her it's nap time in the basement time. So when instead of me just sitting in here talking to myself, because to her that's surely what it is. Her human comes in here and talks to herself for a couple hours, and then we leave. So instead of that, I was tidying up in here. That was the biggest thing I was doing. I caught up on some other tasks too, but the biggest one I focused on was tidying up. So instead of sitting and just talking to myself, I was up, I was moving, I was cleaning, I was carrying stuff here and there, and big piles and boxes and all this stuff. It was very, very active. So I think that's why she was confused. But now she's just right back into it. Right back into streamer mode, which is snooze mode. Aoife's streamer mode is snooze mode. Not sure what to do here. I made this part of the lines very crazy. Oh, I think I just got my 10-minute warning from my calendar. 10 minutes left. Yeah, actually just leave that fully colored in. After all. What does this look like zoomed out? Something I don't like about this. Let's color this in some more. Maybe I won't have this. I was trying to create some separation, but maybe I won't. Because I don't like how it looks when I zoom out. Yeah, maybe I'll erase a little bit more just in this curve here. Let's save. I've been doing so much work. I haven't saved in a while. That's good. Okay. Just keep going. Keep going. Let's zoom in a little bit more. Oh, here, let's add more. I'll figure out what I'm trying to do here. Okay, I'm gonna go to the top of the main. Work my way down. It's kind of confusing what part is meant to be main, what part is meant to be part of the body, and what part just up close looks like a lock of hair, but is actually meant to be negative space. I gotta be honest with myself, I'm gonna have to work on this on the weekend if I want to have it colored for the contest. If I want to just submit the black and white lines, then those are ready to go, but there's still so much left to color. So I'll just see how I feel on the weekend. I want this to be low stakes. I want to enter the contest and I want to share my unique fan art with everyone. But I don't want to stress over it. I want it to remain fun. I've had lots of wonderful lurkers this whole stream. I really appreciate everyone out there sticking around with me and watching me make silly fan art. If anyone else is working on an entry, we've got 5 minutes left. I'd be happy to share as long as it's spoiler free and family friendly. I would love to share your fan art whips or finished pieces for Suikoden. But no pressure, you don't have to. Just saying, I see you. I see you. I appreciate you. I think I actually need to go back to the blue and color in right here. Well, I guess I could make another lock right here. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go back to blonde, actually. I erased it, but let's bring it back. I'm going to color in more here as well. Make sure it's plenty colored in. Zoom out, save real quick. Okay, we still have more to do here. Color in right there. To erase around right here. Before we call the blonde good. Oh, I didn't get that part either. There. Wait, no, we're gonna erase that anyway. It looks so different when it's zoomed in. Look at that little spot missing. There. It's hard for me to see my menu of buttons over here because I've got my window open and, well, I've got the curtains open and the light is blocking it. I can't really see. I have to keep moving my head over to the side to see it. Oh, this part can just be plain old erased. So this is negative space. This is exactly what I was talking about. It's so hard to tell. That's why you just keep zooming out, zooming in. Yeah, I'm gonna bring this back because I like this better as more main. The size doesn't seem right compared to everything else that's blue. Let's just bring it back. Oh, less than a minute left. Guess we're gonna have to call it good here. I'm gonna erase one more thing before I leave you for today. We're gonna erase one more thing. I'm gonna create another lock of blue fur here. I feel that looks better, or will look better. We'll take a look in a second. We'll check in a second. Just erase it a little bit more. Up to here. Oh yeah, I like that better. Hooray! Let's save. Oh, we're at time. Well, this is the fastest I've ever produced something of this quality. From literally nothing to coloring in a single stream. That's pretty good for me. But that's all the time I have for today. So I shall leave you here, but the launch party continues this week, so I hope I'll see you tomorrow. Check my schedule on Twitch to see the times in your local time. I'm going to be live streaming Suikoden II, the remastered version. I'm going to be playing on Nintendo Switch. So I really hope you'll join me for 2 hours. Oh, it's so exciting. I don't even know. I'm so excited for this foray into my favorite video game. I played the original on PlayStation so many times I can't even count. So I hope to see you then. But even if not, I want to wish you the most wonderful rest of your day. Thank you for watching.